Let me ask you something. You scrape your knee or cut your finger. A few days later, there it is, that hard, dark brown crust, a scab. And then comes the urge, that almost irresistible itch to just pick it off. Come on, admit it. We've all done it. But today, I'm going to ask you 3 questions you've never thought about. Question 1. What exactly is that crusty scab? Is it dead skin, dried blood, or something far more clever? Question 2. What is secretly happening underneath it, in the dark, while you wait? And question 3, the big one. Why does picking it feel so satisfying, but is actually one of the worst things you can do to your own body? By the end of this video, you'll see that tiny scab as one of the most brilliant emergency operations your body ever performs, and you'll never want to pick one again. Let's investigate. Let's start by destroying the biggest myth. Most people think a scab is just dead skin or dried up blood, useless waste sitting on top of a wound, waiting to fall off. Wrong. Completely wrong. A scab is not garbage. A scab is a high-tech, living emergency shield, built by your body in minutes, on purpose, with a clear mission. Think about what your body just faced, a hole in your skin. And your skin is your #1 defense against the entire outside world, against billions of bacteria, dirt, and germs trying to get in. A break in that wall is an emergency. So your body doesn't sit around. Within seconds, it launches one of the fastest, most coordinated rescue operations in all of biology. And that scab? That's just the visible roof of a massive construction project happening underneath. So let's go to the very first second after you get cut and watch the emergency response begin. The instant you're cut, the clock starts ticking, and your body's first job is urgent. Stop the bleeding. First, the tiny blood vessels around the wound squeeze shut to slow the flow. Then, the real heroes arrive. Tiny cells in your blood called platelets. They rush to the wound and start sticking together, piling up like sandbags against a flood, plugging the hole. But sandbags alone aren't enough, so your body triggers an incredible chain reaction that creates thin, sticky threads called fibrin. Picture a microscopic net being woven across the wound, trapping blood cells, locking everything in place. That net, packed with blood cells, is a clot. And when that clot is exposed to the air, it dries and hardens into, you guessed it, a scab. So a scab is really a dried blood clot that has turned into a tough, protective crust. In just minutes, your body sealed a hole in its own armor. But sealing the wound was only step 1. Now the real work begins. With the wound sealed under its scab, your body sends in the next team, the cleanup crew. This is the stage you actually see as redness, warmth, and a little swelling around the wound. And most people think that means something's going wrong. Actually, it usually means things are going right. Your immune system floods the area with special cells. Some of them act like tiny soldiers, hunting down and destroying any bacteria or dirt that got in during the injury. Others act like a cleanup and demolition crew, clearing away damaged cells and debris to make space for fresh, new tissue. The slight redness and warmth? That's extra blood being rushed to the scene, carrying these cells and all the supplies the repair will need. So while you're staring at an annoying scab on the surface, underneath it, an entire battle and cleanup operation is being fought and won. Quietly, automatically, without you doing a single thing. And now the site is clean. Time to rebuild. Now pay attention, because this is why you must never pick a scab. Underneath that crust, in the dark, your body opens a construction site, and it is breathtaking. First, your body builds brand new tiny blood vessels, snaking into the wound to deliver oxygen and supplies to the workers. Then, special repair cells called fibroblasts move in and start producing collagen. Think of it as the body's scaffolding, the protein framework that rebuilds your skin from the inside out. And here's the beautiful part. Brand new skin cells begin crawling across the wound, migrating underneath the scab, using it as a protective roof while they rebuild the floor. That's the scab's real job. It's not waste, it is a shield, holding the perfect, sterile, moist environment underneath so your new skin can grow safely, protected from bacteria and damage. The scab is literally guarding a delicate building site. So what do you think happens when you rip that roof off before the construction is finished? But first, let's solve the trap. that maddening itch. Why do scabs itch so badly, almost begging you to scratch and pick them? It feels like a cruel joke, but the itch is actually a side effect of healing. As your body rebuilds, new nerve endings grow back into the area, and they can be extra sensitive. On top of that, the chemicals released during all that repair and cleanup work can trigger an itchy sensation. So the itch is basically your skin saying, "Construction in progress." But here's the trap. That itch makes you want to scratch and pick, the exact thing that ruins everything. Your body, in trying to heal, accidentally tempts you into sabotaging the healing. So this is the moment to be smarter than the itch. Don't scratch. Don't pick. Recognize the itch for what it is, a sign that the secret construction site is busy at work, and leave that roof exactly where it is. So here's the answer to our big question. When you pick a scab off early, you don't just remove a crust, you rip the roof off a delicate construction site. Watch what happens. 1. You tear away the protective shield, exposing the fragile, half-built new skin underneath to the open air and to damage. 2. Your fingers and nails are covered in bacteria, and you've just handed them a direct doorway into an open wound, raising the risk of infection. 3. You often reopen the wound, sometimes making it bleed again, which means your body has to restart the entire process from the beginning. You've just thrown away days of work. And 4. The one people care about most. Picking dramatically increases your chance of a permanent scar. Every time you disturb the healing, you damage that delicate new tissue and force messier repair. So picking a scab is slower healing, higher infection risk, and worse scarring, all for a few seconds of satisfaction. The kindest, smartest thing you can do is simply leave it alone. Now here's a twist that surprises almost everyone, including people who grew up being told, "Let it dry out and breathe." For a long time, that was the common advice. Let a wound form a hard, dry scab in the open air. But modern wound science discovered something fascinating. For many small, clean wounds, keeping them gently moist and covered, for example with a clean dressing or a suitable ointment, can actually help them heal faster and with less scarring than letting a thick, hard scab form. Why? Because a hard, dry scab can actually get in the way of the new skin cells trying to migrate across. They have to work harder to tunnel underneath it. A soft, moist, protected environment makes their journey easier. Now, this does not mean you should mess with your wounds or ignore advice. It means wound care has come a long way, and the best approach depends on the wound, which is exactly why, for anything beyond a minor scrape, you follow proper guidance. Speaking of which, let's talk about when a wound needs more than patience. And this is the part nobody should skip. Most small scrapes and cuts heal beautifully on their own if you keep them clean and leave the scab alone. But some wounds need real medical care, and you should never just wait and watch with these. See a doctor if a wound is deep, wide, or won't stop bleeding. If it was caused by a dirty or rusty object, an animal or human bite, or if you're not up to date on a tetanus shot, get it checked. And watch closely for the warning signs of infection. Redness that is spreading outward rather than shrinking, increasing pain, warmth, swelling, pus, a bad smell, red streaks moving away from the wound, or a fever. Those are not signs to wait out. Those need prompt medical attention. And one especially important note, if you have diabetes, poor circulation, or a weakened immune system, even small wounds can become serious and should be watched very carefully with your doctor's guidance. A healthy scab on a minor scrape is one thing. An infected or non-healing wound is completely another. When in doubt, always check with a professional. So let's step back, because this humble little scab teaches us something we forget far too often. We live in a world of instant everything. We want results now. We want to speed things up. We want to fix it with our own hands. And so we pick. We poke, we interfere. But your body is running a process that is millions of years in the making, perfectly choreographed, working day and night without any input from you. The single best thing you can do is often nothing at all. Just give it time, keep it clean, and trust the process. The scab isn't asking for your help, it's asking for your patience. And maybe that's the real lesson hidden in a scraped knee. Sometimes healing, of the body, and honestly of a lot of things in life, isn't about doing more. It's about getting out of the way and letting the repair happen. So there it is. The next time you get a scrape and that dark little crust appears, you won't see waste or dead skin or an annoying bump to pick. You'll see what it really really is: a high-speed emergency seal, a battlefield, and the protective roof over one of the most incredible construction sites in nature. Your own body rebuilding itself, cell by cell, in the dark. And that itch begging you to pick? Now you know it's a trap, and you're smarter than it. Keep the wound clean, watch for real warning signs, see a doctor when it matters, and otherwise, do the hardest, wisest thing of all. Leave it alone and let your amazing body finish the job. If this video changed how you see a simple scab, share it with that one person you know can never stop picking theirs. You know exactly who I mean. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.